What's up, team? Sean from Rest to Live. And I literally just walked back in my house to tell you about a story that just happened outside that I think is really valuable for anyone who is sort of trying to build a business, build wealth, thinks life is difficult and hard, maybe isn't doing the right things to get to where they want to be. This is a really quick story, and one I want to get off my mind as quick as possible. So it's pretty hot today, about 90 degrees, very, very humid. It's been on and off thunderstorms. So heavy, heavy rain, back to really hot and humid. As I'm walking out to get something out of my truck, I see a gentleman walking down the street, mid-20s, probably give or take. Um, this guy's, you could tell he's sweating, he's working hard. He's got a pest services uniform on, right? Like a sales rep from a pest services company. Um, looks nice, right? It's a uniform, company name on it, very legit. And he just said, "Hey, sorry, looks like you're heading out. I'm just talking to your neighbors, right? We get a lot of the door-to-door stuff, trying to sell services or dropping stuff in your mailbox, things like that. But the reason I'm really stopping for a second here is I just want to talk about how great the presentation was and how prepared he was to handle objections. Because I think a lot of people want to own a business, they want to make a lot of money, but when it comes time to really put the rubber to the road and brass tacks the reality of the situation, a lot of folks are like trying to displace hard work with easy or outsourcing or advertising, and those things are okay too. But sometimes when it comes to getting and growing your business from the ground, it's nothing like shaking a hand or having a real-time reference. So let me tell you the story. So he just says, "Hey, look, I've got a couple of houses signed up. We're going to be coming by and doing a service every 2 weeks. We'll come out and treat your house." And, right on cue, he pulls out this beautiful sheet. It's laminated. It has all the different types of pests, bugs, right? Both on the ground, in the air. We're talking about rodents. We're talking about other things that are in this specific area. He's obviously done his homework. And he said, "Look, here's the deal. I'm going to be doing XYZ houses up and down in your neighborhood." And I said, "Hey, man, I hear that all the time. Everyone always seems to have 25 houses directly in my neighborhood trying to sign me up." And he said, "Do you know so and so? Do you know so and so? Do you know so and so?" I said, "I do know all of them." He said, "We can go and walk down right now. They just signed up, if you're interested." And I was like, "You just got 3 signups on just this little area." And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, let me hear the whole pitch here." So he hits me with it, and very, very, very good job. I mean, frankly, it's hot as heck out. He's doing a great job. And I just had to say to him, like, is this your business? Are you trying to grow it? And he said, "Yeah, him and a couple of buddies, the younger guys, they saved up their money to start this local business. And it's, somewhat local, but they have a pretty good area. A couple of trucks, they come out and spray the properties. They do the checking kind of thing to make sure everything looks good, whatever." Um, and he said, "Is this something you're interested in doing?" And, of course, like anyone knows who watches this channel, I'm an entrepreneur also. And I sort of was trying to see if I could get him into an opportunity to give me something bigger here. I'll tell you what I did. I wasn't breaking chops or anything like that. My property's already handled for that. But I said to him, I said, "Hey, look, I own some rental properties, so I actually have relationships with pest control companies to make sure we're doing the right things and always, making a clean environment for anyone who's in our places." And he said, "Oh, okay. Well," and he pressed me a bit on, like, "Well, does your house need it? Is this something you're doing here, or is that just your other properties?" And what I was really wanting him to say was, "How do I beat them or outbid them to get the work?" Now, great, in my unique situation, it wasn't going to be something where I could have displaced them. These are people I know. It's a good relationship thing, but I was still wanted to just hear that anyways. And I shared that with him in full transparency, which of course we sort of had a handshake of like, "All right, I'll be back and I'm going to steal that business from you." But the reason I'm sharing this is, when it comes to wanting to be wealthy or successful or have a big business, sometimes there is just no replacing shaking a hand, explaining a service, and getting someone to sign up on the spot. And it was really funny because when I said, "Can I get a business card?" he said, "No, I'm the business card. If we're going to do something, let's get it done right now, right? Why put off what needs to be done?" And I was thinking, like, man, this dude has been through some sales training. He handles objections. He knows how to get it done right. I think what probably threw it off, right? I'm getting a truck, there's mud all over it, and some tools in the back that I'm sure he should see. So I think he should have just assumed, like, yeah, if I'm saying I'm doing something, I'm probably doing it. Um, of course, I really wasn't, though. I was just going to get a coffee. But again, I just want to share this because I made a video a while back about, growing a window cleaning for commercial businesses from 0 to 10 million, selling it for $10 million. And I know some people in the power washing space who are doing this. I know people in the landscaping and lawn care space who are doing this. We know lots of people in the pest space who are doing it. So although it's very cool and very sexy and very, very big to talk about software companies and AI and all the things that are coming down the pipeline, don't forget that there's lots more houses than there are businesses. And if you can find a way to proactively serve those homes, provide leads, provide cleaning, provide some kind of a service, you have a big opportunity to grow something significant if you put in the work and do it the right way. So I just had to get this off my chest because I preach this all the time. And especially on Twitter, of course, you see this too. This whole like boring business, the blue collar business that grows millionaires. It happens time and time and time again. And as I even sit here thinking about this, I just was thinking of all the different services just in this little neighborhood that I could provide to 100 people, charge $100 for on maybe a quarterly basis, a semi-annual basis, whatever the case might be. And if you get 100 people at $100, right, that's 10,000. If you can do that 4 times a year, that's 40,000. That's at least an entry level income to start to try to grow something. And now every time you add 10%, you're growing that much more and that much more and that much more. And really still within a 1 mile radius of your own area, you'll have more customers than you could ever need. So if you have a good pitch, you have a good service and solution, you have the right pricing, you're solving for real problems, you're going to be in really good shape. So here's the deal, just some appreciation. I appreciate everyone who watches this channel. Do me a solid. If you're still watching at this point, I want you to write the word pain down below, PAIN, because one of the best quotes I've ever heard, and this is something I've used throughout my entire career, and I still frankly do it now today, is you really want to target and understand how you're going to solve the pain for your clients, right? Other folks will say things like pitch the pain, know the pain, work the pain, solve $10 million problems to get $1 million price. But it's all the same. It's understanding what the biggest pain on the rear end is. I'll give you a perfect example. I'm a fully capable person. I can absolutely go out and take care of my lawn. It looks terrible right now and I need to mow it. Next door to me, beautiful, beautiful home. Their property is done probably every 2 weeks or so by a lawn care service. Not once has someone come over and said, hey, for X dollars, I can actually do your lawn as well, because mine always is a couple weeks behind because I tend to get really busy and not get to it. The more in your life you can think about that one extra phone call, extra conversation, extra handshake, extra business card, whatever it is that you're doing, if you can do it one more time, the value is huge. So for this kid who was here earlier, assuming he wasn't BSing because he had the names and I saw the sign up sheet, he has 3, 4, maybe by the end of the day, 10 people in the area signed up for a pest service. That's going to get him, a couple bucks for a day's work, a couple $100 per for a day's work. You're out there doing that 5, 6 days a week. You're making pretty good money. And assuming it's a recurring business and you can realistically renew a good percentage of them next year, right? You'll have some churn, but if you can renew some of them and you go through this again, before you know it, your 40, 50, $60,000 a year business is $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, and then $4, $5, $6 million. It really is just a question of where you want to stop. And the beauty of it is you can always sell these types of businesses to larger players or make the acquisition yourself. So team, I know I went longer than I meant to. It was just such a great moment to say, like, man, it was like, I mean, we shook hands and he was soaked. I literally like I had to wipe my hand off afterwards. And it really left me thinking, when I was first getting into it back in the day, I was a door knocker, right? And you learn a lot about objection handling, about how to make sure you're deploying your point effectively, you're being succinct. And so when you're trying to grow your business, even if it's an online business, there's a good reason to get good at talking in person to get those first few customers that you can build the whole rest of the business on. And having local references that you're happy to go and say hello to and ask if it's true goes a long way in growing that business as well. So team, that's it. I just had to share this. It was such a great story and it happened in real time. I actually couldn't believe it. I even said to the kid, I said, I'm going to go in and make a video about this. So that's it. Don't sleep on hard work. This is the reality of life. You have got to sometimes work hard to achieve the big hard things. Okay. There's a reason why there are not a lot of people with $10 million. There's an even bigger reason for 50 million and 100 million and on. You have to go and do the things that no one else is willing to do, and you have to learn to do them the right way. So, team, with that, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate your time as always. And man, if you need pest control and you live near me, you're probably going to be seeing this guy at your door soon. So, with that, thanks everybody. Have a good one.